Hey YouTube, this is your host O34 here with a team review of my Sunnyshore League Season 4 draft. The Sunnyshore League has been a league that I've been in for about a year now. We've done 3 seasons so far, just started the 4th one. And I'm here to show you a quick team review and analysis. Just also to show people how I draft. If you're unfamiliar with drafting, it's basically you draft a team of 12 Pokemon and you fight a bunch of other people that are in the league with just those 12 Pokemon. So you have to make a team of 6 every time. So let's get started on the team. Click. It's not working. There we go. So this is what the team looks like. We got Excadrill, Clefable, Latios, Mega Sharpedo, Chandelure, Conkeldurr, Seismitoad, Venusaur, Braviary, Lantern, Mesprit, and Archeops. It's a pretty good team. This is one of the better teams I've drafted, I'd say. It's pretty bulky, which I like. I like balanced teams a lot. It doesn't have as much speed. There's just like I have Latios and I have Mega Sharpedo and Archeops, but the rest is like 80 or lower, which it's not bad, but it could use like 1 or 2 more fast mons. But I think I really like this team. Of course, I haven't used it in any matches yet, so we still have to see how it works in practice. But it's one of the better teams in the draft. So for this season, we didn't start with 3 OU mons and then 3 UU mons in order. We could just draft in any order we wanted. So if you wanted an RU mon first, you could do that. Which was it was different, not really necessary, I guess. Like people were just like, oh, I'll just draft fun stuff, and I just went full tryhard mode. I actually wanted to draft like a Swampert and Politoed to get a rain team going, but Swampert was taken on the 2nd pick, and yeah. But then it kind of fell apart. I could have still drafted rain, but I wanted to use Mega Swampert, and it's still good if you have to set up rain by yourself, but you can't really build a team around it that way. And besides, Politoed is just a mon that I enjoy a lot from using it in VTC 15. Anyway, so I'll go by every pick one by one and give you a little bit of insight in why I pick certain mons and why I pick certain typings. And we'll go by in which order I drafted them. So the first mon I picked was Excadrill, mostly because I like Excadrill, it just looks cool, and but also because in the previous drafts I always lacked hazard removal. Like I would never had anything to deal with Stealth Rock or Spikes or whatever. I would always pick like Rapid Spinners from like NU and Defoggers from RU, and they just don't do their job as well as OU mons do. So this time around I really wanted to work on my hazard control, because it's just harder to play matches if rocks are constantly up. So it's a nice ground steel typing, high attack, high HP, kind of decent speed actually, approaching 90, which is not bad. It's a good Scarfer. I think it's going to use Sword Stance, and it has, of course, Step, EQ, counters fairy types with the steel typing. Yeah, this is just a great mon to have for League, and it's definitely a mon that I can recommend first picking. I was actually close to wheel pick. We have 10 people in the draft, and I was pick 9, and this went all the way down to me. So really happy about that. My next mon, like I said, I was almost wheel pick, was Clefable, and I don't really enjoy Clefable. I mean, Clefable is cool and all. It's obviously one of the better mons in OU. It's like the only S rank right now. But it's just not. I don't really enjoy the fairy type, but I think the fairy type is the most crucial for League. Like if you don't have a fairy type, you're just gonna lose to a bunch of teams that have powerful dragon types that are just gonna steamroll your entire team. So you need a good fairy type, and there are only like 8 good ones in the entire game. Like 8 good ones. There are still more fairy types that are available, but you don't really necessarily want them. Like Slurpuff is there, but it's not really that great as like your primary fairy type. And I was looking at the list of fairy types, and like I didn't really want to settle for an RU fairy or a UU fairy. Like Aromatisse was actually gone before Clefable at this point, and that was the only other fairy mon that I was kind of interested in having. Like I didn't want Gardevoir, I didn't want Slurpuff, I didn't want Sylveon because I hate Sylveon. And I didn't want to pick a fairy type Mega like Diancie. So I chose Clefable instead. It's just one of the best mons, so yeah, it just does a lot. It can T-Wave anything, it sets up rocks, it can Calm Mind, it can Soft Boiled, it can Wish Pass, it has Healing Wish, Heal Bell. Like, you can just use whatever kind of Clefable you want for any match. It's really useful, and it's a win condition. So, yeah. And its stats are actually kind of booty. If you look at them, the HP is good with 95, and the special attack is good with 95. But its with def and defense are, like, it's not amazing. But just its move pool and typing and amazing abilities just make it work so well. So our next pick was, I actually picked Latios. So at this point, I wanted to pick Swampert and Politoed to get that rain team going. But they were taken, so I just figured I'm going to go maximum tryhard and get all of my OU mons out of the way and just pick Latios. I mean, like I said before, I wanted to get better hazard removal, and Latios has, you know, the clutch defog, it has the 110 speed, just amazing stats all around. Like, none of those stats are really bad, except like HP and defense, like, but that's only in comparison to the rest of its stats. I haven't really used this mon in OU, and I don't know why. It's a cool mon. There's not really a whole lot to say about it. It's pretty straightforward. You're gonna Life Orb it, you're gonna choice Specs it, you're gonna choice Scarf it, and just destroy teams, just break them down, and just outspeed things. Just basically put a check on your opponent's team saying, hey, if you don't have something that outspeeds my Latios, you know, you have a high chance of losing. It's just really good in that sense that other teams have to adapt to this mon. And so as you can see, from my first 3 picks, I went to finish off my Steel Fairy Dragon type core as soon as possible, because I think that's the core that checks the most mons and gives you the most resistances and just lets you build on top of that. So if you make those 3 really good, you're gonna have already a pretty decent team. So my next pick was Mega Sharpedo. I actually picked normal Sharpedo and just confirmed that it was my Mega later, because I wasn't sure, like, maybe I was gonna pick up another Mega on top of Sharpedo, or just use Mega Latios. But Mega Sharpedo is cool. It's just one of the better UU Megas there is. It has just a really high speed stat, really high attack stat, really good special attack stat, and you can just kind of beast on people. Like, the Water Dark typing is just really good offensively. So this was definitely my offensive water pick. I knew I wanted 2 water types because in my previous drafts I would always want like an offensive water type and a defensive water type. Like in the previous draft I had Keldeo and Jellicent. And it's because the water type is both good offensively as well as defensively. Especially defensively, you could say. There's not much to say about this mon. Like, you use speed boost on the first turn with Protect to just outspeed a whole bunch of mons, and then go to town with like Crunch, Ice Fang, Waterfall, Hydro Pump, whatever else it gets. I think it gets Fire Fang and Thunder Fang, but I'm not too sure about that. I mean, stab typings are almost all you need, so yeah, don't need much else. So after that, I picked my defensive water right away. I picked Seismitoad because it's kind of like Swampert in that sense. But actually I wanted a really good Stealth Rocker, most of all. Like a mon that could just had little weaknesses and that could easily set up rocks on a bunch of teams. And it gets Water Absorb as well, which is really nice for, just in general, it's good to have an answer to Scald. And it can also use Swift Swim. Just in case I do want some, you know, shenanigans with like a fast Seismitoad, because it actually has pretty decent attack and special attack stats, and most of all it has a really good HP set, so it's gonna tank a lot of hits. And with the Rindo Berry you can deny the inevitable hidden power grass that you're gonna find in draft format. But yeah, I wanted a good Stealth Rocker, I wanted a Scald answer, and it uses Scald itself. Like, you can just put a Life Orb on this thing and just be like a bulky attacker as well if I want to. So right after that I picked this mon, it's Venusaur. And you might be a little surprised to see regular Venusaur here. I mostly didn't want people to pick up Mega Venusaur because I think that's one of the best OU Megas. And a lot of people at this point hadn't finished their OU drafts yet. People were still, you know, looking around for good UUs and trying to figure out like what Mega are they going to put on your team. And I think Mega Venusaur is just, I would say, top 3 OU Megas for Draft League. I would say this and like Charizard. Both forms of Charizard are good. And I'd say Mega Scizor is good for League as well. I'm not sure if anyone agrees with me on that, but basically I drafted regular Venusaur because I wanted a good grass type for a change. Like I've had booty grass types in the past, like I've had Go-Goats, and I've had, or like defensive grass type. I've had the Superior as well, but it doesn't tank it. So I've had like Go-Goat, I've had, what's it called, Cacturne, just trash. And I wanted a good grass type for a change, because I really like having like Fire, Water, Grass course on top of my Steel, Fairy, Dragon course. So this was just a good mon, and a good Fairy check as well, which I kind of had with Excadrill, but I wanted another one. Because you can't have enough Fairy checks in my head. You cannot have enough, because they check so many, Fairy check so many good types like Dark and Fighting and Dragon, that you wanna, it's okay to just lock up on like 3 or 2 Fairy checks. So yeah, and it actually has good stats. Like if you look at it, 100 special attack, 100 speed def, that's good. This is a good mon, I like it. One of the best RU mons right now, for sure. So next up I picked Chandelure from the UU tier. I wanted another win condition. I was really sort of doubting what to pick from UU. I was gonna pick a fast fighting type like Mienshao at first, but Mienshao is kind of more of a pivot and not necessarily a win condition. And I was looking around like, what am I gonna pick? And I definitely want to pick up a ghost type as well, and a fire type. So here we are. Chandelure is at both of those things, and it can win games for you with Calm Mind Sub, or just specs and just completely destroy teams with its powerful special attack and its powerful stab moves. It also has like free immunities with Flash Fire, and just being a ghost type gives it normal and fighting immunity. I'm excited to use this mon, but I was still a little, I was definitely a little doubtful when picking this up. I didn't really know what to do, because I had so many options at that point. And I felt that picking Chandelure would definitely swing my team over into the sort of slow, bulky mons, and I'm okay with that, but it's not as balanced as I would like. So, but the only other ghost type that was, like, if I wasn't gonna pick Chandelure here, then I would have had to go down to NU to pick a ghost type. Then I probably would have picked like Miss Magius or Rotom. And those might be gone pretty quickly, because both of those are really good in League format, so yeah. But I'm happy with it. It's a cool one. So after that I picked Braviary. I've wanted to pick this mon since Season 1 and just never got a chance. It was always stolen from me. Now I finally have it. And it's a normal type, so you know it's gonna beast on ghost types, or basically just be immune to ghost types so that I don't get swept by them, because I do have the Latios, which has no defenses against it. Yeah, I do have Sharpedo, but I don't want Sharpedo to just come in on hits unless it's like a psychic hit that I know it's going to be immune to, or like a really weak resisted hit. But yeah, I kind of, so this is like a ghost switch in, as well as just a powerful pivot that can be scarfed a lot or banded, and another defog option. Like not the best since it's flying type, it's going to take a lot of damage, but it could be like Roost defog, Brave Bird, U-turn kind of set if I want to. Probably not the best set to run. Like probably its best sets are like Scarf and Band. Just go Scarf, Brave Bird, Scarf U-turn, Scarf Return, or Double Edge if I want to. But I'm really excited to use this mon. It's also got really good abilities with Sheer Force and Defiance. So if people are gonna, you know, use defog against me, then I can just put in my Braviary, and if it's Scarfed, I can go to town with a +2 Scarf Braviary. And you know, birds are powerful. Like, don't mess around with birds. They seem like everybody who plays OU kind of knows that like you need bird checks, and this is, yeah, League is no different. If you have a good bird, you can probably wreck a couple teams. So yeah, and I think Braviary is a good bird. It has 100 HP, 123 attack. Its speed stack is lacking, but we're gonna hopefully fix that with Scarf. It's a good Scarf target. So next up I picked Conkeldurr. Again, a really slow mon, the slowest on my team, I believe, with 45. But again, like a monstrously high attack set and really high HP set. Here again, I was considering whether or not I should pick Mienshao. But I kind of just, Conkeldurr was open, and Conkeldurr is so good. Conkeldurr just deals so much damage, and you can just win by just dealing damage. Like, you don't need to set up on it. It does get bulk up, so I can like sub bulk up if I want to. But yeah, it's probably mostly gonna be like bandit sets or assault vest sets to like go to town on teams like Mach Punch, Knockoff, Dream Punch, and Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, Fire Punch. Just catch a Will-O-Wisp, pick up that Guts boost, and just destroy teams with it. It's just gonna do so much damage, and it's gonna be a threat to definitely some teams that don't have an answer to priority Mach Punch with stab, which at 140 attack, it's gonna hurt so much. And I can actually catch Scalds with it too if I want like non-stab Scalds or like weak Scalds, just to hopefully get the burn and see if I can get Guts boosted. And if my opponent doesn't have a way to burn me, I can just use Iron Fist. Just boost literally every single move that it has. So yeah, I could have picked Mienshao here. I've used Mienshao in Season 2 and I really enjoyed it. I only used it for the latter part. But it's like Mienshao is very fast as well, but it's more like a pivot because of Regenerator than like a capable Sword Dancer. It's really weak to getting burned. Like if it's burned, it does basically nothing. So yeah, Conkeldurr. Let's check out our next mon. Yeah, Lantern. Almost forgot I got this one. Here I was definitely doubting myself the most, I think, with the whole draft. I wanted to pick either Lantern or Manectric from NU. And Manectric is a fast electric type, and electric types are very valuable in League format because like they just deal a lot of damage. They usually have good move pools. They usually have good abilities. Like they're usually very fast. Like Raikou can destroy teams. All the Rotoms are good. Lantern is good. But I was just sort of wondering, like, should I get Manectric just to get the speed? But Manectric doesn't have as good as a move pool as other mons do. Like it has Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, and HP Grass or HP Ice. It's like a grand total of 5 moves, and it's only gonna be an attacker, and it's only gonna ever like be a fast pivot for me. Is that something I want when I already have Braviary to be a fast pivot with like Choice Scarf U-turn? And I didn't really think that was worth it, even with the good speed stat. I figured I'd rather have another Pokemon with Fold Absorb and Water Absorb, and like have the potential to Thunder Wave teams, and again like another Scald answer, and just overall really good typing with only 2 weaknesses, Grass and Ground, which I just covered easily with my flying types. Yeah, I kind of have to see how this goes with Lantern. I might still drop it for Manectric if I really feel like I need to speed, because I do already have all the things mentioned with Lantern. It's just that it all comes together in like a neat package. So if I ever want to use like Seismitoad as an offensive mon but still have a Scald answer, well, here it is. If I ever want to use Clefable with full offense and I still want a Thunder Waver, here it is. And let's see, if I ever want a slow pivot, here it is. It's Lantern. So next up I picked Mesprit. Speaking of slow pivots, I really didn't think these were my last 2 picks. And again, I was wheel pick at this point. The person who came after me was gone for a large part of the draft. So I basically was just able to wheel pick everything. And I basically picked this mon because it's good. I used it in another league I was in called the Galactic League, but it's been disbanded since then. And it was one of my better picks just because it has so much variety. You know, can set up Stealth Rocks, can just attack with Life Orb, you can Scarf it, you can put Specs on it, you can put Band on it actually. It's like it gets a lot of moves. I think this is actually the best one out of the 3 Lake Spirits, like Azelf, Uxie, and Mesprit, because Mesprit just has the best of both worlds. Like Azelf gets like Nasty Plot, which is its only like the only thing that makes it better is that Mesprit doesn't get any setup other than Calm Mind, I think. And Calm Mind is not bad on it. Like if I need Psychic type Calm Mind to just body a team that's weak to it, then yeah, I will pick that. But I do already have like an offensive Psychic type, so it's probably just mostly going to be like a knockoff U-turn Stealth Rock user, which is not bad. Like if I need that kind of utility, then here it is. Like it can be very valuable. There's not much else to say about this mon. it still does a lot of damage with like specs. I've used Joy Specs Mesprit before and just psychic teams to death, basically. It's really good against Mega Venusaur, but I actually picked up Venusaur myself, so yeah. So along with this mon, I was able to pick Archeops, and Mesprit and Archeops are two of the best NU mons. So I was really surprised that they were both open, and I was like, I'll just make sure that nobody gets these. Again, with Archeops, it kind of already does the things that I have, and I wasn't in NU. I was really doubting, like, what should I pick? What am I still missing? The one thing I was still missing that I didn't think about at all was actually a Spikes user, but Garbodor was taken at this point. I'm not really sure if there are other good NU Spikers. Well, Weezing was there, but it was also already taken. I think Weezing gets Toxic Spikes. I'm not too sure anymore. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. But Archeops is just like, it got the speed that I needed, like the 110 speed, and with Defeatus the speed doesn't go down, only the attack and the special attack goes down. So it's still a fast mon, and it's just like, it's a fast taunt user as well, and it can use Endeavor, it can use Head Smash, it has a Rock Stab, which I didn't have yet. And it can deal a ton of damage if left alone, like, it can just go to town with a 140 attack, and it can use Roost to get its stats back up. Because if it has Defeatus, so if it gets down to 50% HP, it loses half of its attack and half its special attack. With Roost, I think it can get it back. So yeah, if I can find like Roost opportunities, then that'd be Gucci. I could just have another like really fast attacker. And having Rock Stab isn't bad, it's just not completely necessary for League. I feel like Rock, Ice, and Bug are the three types that you don't necessarily need. They're not bad to have, but you don't need it. Because it doesn't give you anything other than like a special defense boost from Sandstorm. But like the moves itself aren't important enough to have stab. Like Stone Edge Stab is strong, but it's always like has that liability of missing. And there are not a lot of good rock moves that don't miss. Like there's Power Gem. Nothing uses Power Gem other than Probopass. So yeah, I think that's the last mon in the draft. So that ends this recording right here. Hope that kind of gave you some insight into drafting. If you ever feel like joining a draft league and you're not in one right now, when Sun and Moon comes out, we're starting season 5. This is going to be kind of a short season, since we only have 10 people. We're hoping to get more people to come into the league for season 5 to join us for Sun and Moon drafting, which is going to be pretty exciting. I'm excited to use some of the new mods that are in there. And yeah, so leave us a like and a subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. I don't think I'll do the matches because they're kind of boring and only there for the people who are in the league or who are comfortable with the league, and those people are just gonna watch the regular replays anyway, since we just have them on documents. But I hope this kind of videos should also be useful for people who want to get into League or don't play League right now. And yeah, hope it's a help. So anyway guys, leave a like, leave a subscribe. Check back to us tomorrow for more Squad Link action. We're gonna upload to episode 4, and there's a lot more episodes coming. We've recorded up to episode 8 by now, so if you're a fan, check that out. Okay guys, see you later, bye.